So in terms of our rank, we want people to get ranked up. We want to be about speed because that is something that the internet and social media has brought to networking is everything's about speed now. Okay. So two people, you're a goal. At goal, you actually get to start making overrides. But one of the strong points of myEcon, it doesn't matter whether you're an EVP or platinum or any rank, you get the same amount of money as a CEO when you make a personal sale. So everybody's even from day one, and I enjoy that. Platinum, two personally enrolled active members, 10 team members total, counting no more than 3 from a leg. So a person can get there, very quickly. Infinity, EVP Infinity, two personal enrolled active members, 38 active team members, and 10, counting no more than 10 from any direct leg. Once again, very attainable. So, and that's a high income position. That's really a six-figure. The percentages make it so six figures become very realistic because you're getting $8 per month residual income on the financial success membership, and on the big package, the elite, well, you're getting I think it's $11.20 monthly residual. So that's a great place to be. And then finally, CEO Infinity, we lowered it down from 300 to 200 active members, counting no more than 50 from a direct leg. Takes a little more work, but the good part is once you get to Infinity, you can afford to just sit there and work on going to CEO over a period of time. And so that's our rank up to bank up, because literally every time you rank up in myEcon, you actually get more pay. Even if you have the same volume, you get more pay because your percentages go up. So, as an example, if somebody's a platinum, they're getting $3 per month residual income, or $4.20, depending on which package they got. But once they get to Infinity, that doubles, so more than doubles. So that's very important. So then we also created a bonus. And once again, in this bonus, we wanted everybody to win. We want everybody to have the opportunity to win. Okay. And so you get your regular myEcon commission. So, you got the whatever, that's stayed the same. But now you get an additional $7.50 bonus if you personally recruit somebody and they make their first payment. Okay. And that's on every single sale from the very first sale. So what that does, it gives the person that's just getting started, or maybe been around for a little while and restarting, it gives them the same opportunity as someone that, has a big downline and they're just, so I think that's very important to do that, because, so often you see compensation plans where it's all tailored to someone that's really big. And what I call that is, to me, that's just ridiculous. It's kind of like pro sports. You make these superheroes and then, they just do crazy stuff because, they can't handle the success. So now the bonuses have for the new members to qualify. When you bring a new member in, for it to count as a bonus for you, it's got to happen between 4/11/2025, which was this past Saturday, and 10/3/2025. And our goal is to have a super successful promotion, and then with that big promotion, we can maintain these same numbers or something that's very close to them. And so you have unlimited bonuses, unlimited upfront commissions, overrides, and DTR. So I think that's important. But if I also just like to take just a couple minutes here and just talk about our payout percentages, because I think that's important. Okay. You hear companies, you hear people talk about 100%, 90%, 80%, all these percentages. Well, in myEcon, we actually pay out over 100% the very first month. Now, we're able to do that, especially on our in-house products, because we know we're going to have many of our members are going to stay around for many months. And so we get that money back. So we basically have 4 memberships: the financial success membership. Okay. And we're going to start with the financial success membership P, FSMP. That's the $44.95 membership, but when somebody chooses to sell it for a discount. Okay, so they sell it for $24.95. They get $15 up front. Then there's another opportunity for a $750 bonus. Well, that's $22.50. That's 90% payout. Now that's personal payout. So if you're paying 90% to the person that did the work, and then you got overrides on top of that, then obviously it's over 100% total payout. So we're talking 90% personal payout. Okay. So that's a big deal. We actually start to make money the third month that a person is in myEcon. Okay. So then we go to the financial success membership. That's the $44.95 and then $40.95 a month. Okay, so that's $35 upfront commission plus the $750 bonus, $42.50. That's 94.5% plus overrides plus residual. Then, of course, we've got the elite business membership, $70 upfront. Okay, $750 bonus, and so that's $77.50. So that's 77.5% plus overrides and DTR. And the reason that one is a little smaller because that's a third-party product. We actually have to pay another vendor for that product, whereas the first two memberships, that's all in-house stuff, okay? And then the final is, of course, the global product. The international travel membership is the ZTM. It's $35. It's a $44.90. That's $35 upfront commission, $750 bonus. That's $42.50. So that's 70.8%. And once again, that one's lower because it's an outside vendor, and you have much higher international merchant fees. So when you look at those percentages, I think it's fair to say for sure that we've got the highest payout in the industry. And the way that, and it's a real thing with us because you don't see a bunch of people running around myEcon's corporate office that's not doing anything. We don't have a bunch of suits, right? Everybody that's at corporate, they're doing some real work. Plus, we're digital. 90% of everything's digital. We've had the same CEO for 20 years, a great friend of mine, Larry Gates. And so everything is digital. And every time we make a change, we try to keep it within the same concept so we keep our costs down. So this is something we've been working on for many years, and it's just given us an advantage over time. I also think we've got the number one product in the industry. I don't think it's even close. I mean, if somebody buys travel, they can save some money. That's a great product. If somebody buys identity theft, they can protect their identity. That's great. If you buy nutrition, well, your health is very valuable. Those are great products. But our number one product actually generates cash flow. And nobody else in the industry has that. I mean, if you lower your taxes with our app, you're putting cash in your pocket. If somebody's out there and they got poor credit and they improve their credit, they're able to refinance high interest debt to low interest debt and then pay that debt off. That's real cash. And so I think that the income shifting membership, that's the number one product in networking by far, because we all get in network and generate more cash flow. And there are actually people in myEcon that's millionaires today. They've been around for a long time, but they're millionaires, and they've never made more than $2,000 or $3,000 in a year from actually recruiting people. They made most of their money from income shifting. So that is a fantastic product. And then, of course, the last thing is, I say this all the time when I'm talking to new prospects about the business. It's always the third thing that I say.
Hey, Ivor, real quick.
The bill, okay? Because, hey, if you're getting tax write-offs, literally, if you got $4,000 in tax write-offs for being a business owner, and that's easy to do. Your cell phone, your internet access, a little mileage, whatever. Now all of a sudden, $4,000 in tax write-off, even if you're in the 25% tax bracket, and most people are, that's going to save you $1,000. Well, the business is only about $500 a year. So you're actually getting a positive cash flow even before you consider commissions or the strategies or anything else. And so literally, for 99% of people in myEcon, there's no net cost to the business. And I just think when you're a networker, that's important because, I started as a networker at 21 years old, struggled for a lot of years, you know, then had a lot of success. And so I tried to think like a networker, be a networker, and I still do it today. We've got a great CEO, Larry Gates, and I try not to go to corporate very often. I work out of my house, so I enjoy that freedom. So that's what we're doing, and it's my pleasure to be here this morning. I'm going to kick it back over to Dan, and then we can do questions, answers, and I'm going to be here for a while and just join in and hang out this morning.